chapter 1 for our physics 2 is about thermal physics. So, thermal physics is the branch of physics that studies temperature, heat, and how they affect to matter. So, it helps explain everyday and natural phenomena such as yung ating volcanic eruption, yung pag-crack ng roads during temperature changes, and how engine produces energy needed for the transportation or yung mga sasakyan natin to move. So heat can change the internal energy of the material, causing them to expand, contract, or change their properties. So through the help of thermal physics, nakakapag-design tayo or we are able to uh, pinpoint yung mga possible damages doon sa ating mga machine so that we can predict or we can design a proper material or the proper size for our machines. So for our learning outcomes, so by the end of this chapter, you should be able to define concepts of temperature, heat, and internal energy and explain how they are related to one another. And then describe how the transfer of heat affects matter, including changes in temperature, expansion, contraction, and physical properties of the material. And then explain the practical application of thermal physics in everyday life and engineering, such as engines, refrigeration, food preservation, and structural design. And then we have apply the ideal gas law to determine the relationship among pressure, volume, temperature, and the amount of gas in solving basic problems. Then discuss the kinetic theory of gases and explain how the motion of gas particles gives rise to macroscopic properties such as pressure, temperature, and internal energy. Then lastly, analyze simple thermal phenomena and engineering situation by using principles of thermal physics to explain and predict the behavior of matter under changing thermal conditions. So let's start with the temperature. So yung temperature natin describes how hot or cold something is. So but in physics or in engineering, temperature has a precise meaning. So it is a measure of the average translational kinetic energy of the particles in a substance. So ang keyword natin we have here average. So in any object, particles are moving at different speeds in different directions. So temperature capture the overall statistical average of all this microscopic motion. So from the image, from our presentation, as you can see, dito po sa una, sa freezer natin, yung particles natin or molecules inside the freezer moves slowly. Compare natin dun sa molecules inside the oven. So, so inside a hot oven, gas molecules are zooming around at a very high speed. So, compare natin dun sa ating freezer, the same type of molecules moves much more slowly compare sa hot oven natin. So, the hot oven has a higher temperature because its molecule have a more average kinetic energy. So, when you place your hand near doon sa ating oven, mafe-feel ninyo yung on your skin yung energy from the oven or this is the transfer of energy which is what we call heat. So ano yung difference between your temperature and heat? So temperature is the property of an object. It tells you the level of molecular energy and then yung heat naman is energy in transit. So it flows between objects at different temperature. So for example, from this one, we have here yung lake natin, which is at 20 degrees Celsius. Contains far more thermal energy than your cup of boiling water at 100 degrees Celsius. So, kahit po na mas mataas yung temperature natin when it comes doon sa ating cup compare doon sa ating lake, yung lake natin has more thermal energy. So, bakit po kaya? Because of its mass. So, yung mass or yung volume ng lake natin contributes more on the trans on the heat energy that being transferred to the environment compare mo doon sa ating cup of water, boiling water. So on this case, hindi nakaka-apekto masyado sa environment natin yung ating uh, boiling cup of water kaysa dun sa ating lake. So si lake malaki siya, once na mag-change yung temperature niya, affected siya by our environment. So now let's discuss naman po yung ating zero law. So your zero law of thermodynamics states that if object A is in thermal equilibrium with object B and object B is also thermal equilibrium with object C, then object A and object C is in thermal equilibrium with each other. So let's define first what is thermal equilibrium. So thermal equilibrium, when two objects are in thermal equilibrium, meaning wala tayong no net heat flows. Meaning yung temperature natin from object A and object B is equal. Okay po? So for your zeroth law, so the law is called zeroth law because it was formally stated after nung ating first and second law of thermodynamics. So this is one of the fundamental law of thermodynamics. Mas mahalaga pa siya kaysa dun sa ating first and second law. Kasi hindi natin kayang i-prove yung existence of first and second law without yung ating zeroth law. So, ano yung practical significance when it comes doon sa ating zeroth law? Imagine yung object B natin is yung thermometer natin. So, the thermometer can come into thermal equilibrium with a hot T dito as your object A and then read a certain temperature. So, if the same thermometer reads the same temperature when placed to another liquid, that is our object C, we can conclude that the cup of tea and the other liquid is at the same temperature. So they are in thermal equilibrium. So the thermometer acts as the bridge between those two. So this is the foundation of every temperature measurement ever made po. So this is the thermal equilibrium. So thermal equilibrium, two objects are in thermal equilibrium. When they are in thermal contact, no net heat flows between them. This occurs when both objects are at the same temperature. So the thermal equilibrium is a macroscopic state that corresponds to microscopic randomness on average. So energy is being exchanged in both directions at equal rates. So for example, we have here two objects. So they have a different temperature. So this is your object A, and then this is your object B. Kaiba yung temperature niya. Yung temperature ni object A is high temperature, while your object B is low temperature. So once na magkaroon sila ng thermal contact or magkadikit na sila, your heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. So ano yung mangyayari doon sa temperature ni object A? So from high temperature, magde-decrease siya. And then yung temperature naman po ni object B is magi increase. So at some point, mag-meet sila in the middle kung saan parehas na yung kanilang temperature where there is no heat flows between them. So in that case, they are in thermal equilibrium. They both have the same temperature at this case. So next is yung ating thermometer. So thermometer, saan natin ginagamit sa thermometer natin? Anyone? Saan po natin ginagamit? You can type your answer po sa ating chat box. Saan po ginagamit si thermometer? Si thermometer is ginagamit sa pagkuha ng temperature. So, the common thermometer used in everyday life, such as yung ating mga mercury or alcohol enclosed in a glass tube. So, when temperature increases, the liquid expands doon sa ating thermometer. And then, kapag naman nag-lower sa temperature, nag-decrease yung liquid sa loob ng ating thermometer. So the thermometer is used to find or to measure yung temperature of an object. So ano yung mga classic or ano yung mga temperature scale na alam ninyo? Ano yung mga temperature scale na usually ginagamit natin? Meron tayong apat, pero ano yung familiar kayo? Yeah, we have Celsius, we have Fahrenheit. So, yung dalawang yun, yung usual nating ginagamit. So, sa degree Celsius, more on universal siya. Or, I mean, mostly buong mundo yung gumagamit sa kanya. While the Fahrenheit, English country yung usual na gumagamit ng degree Fahrenheit. And then we have the absolute temperature scale, which is the Kelvin and Rankine. So si Kelvin is the absolute temperature scale for your Celsius, and then yung Rankine naman is the absolute temperature scale for your Fahrenheit. So the Celsius temperature scale is established using two fixed reference points. So ano yun? We have pala. Yan. So, ano yung dalawang reference point when it comes doon sa ating degree Celsius? Meron tayong At 0 degrees Celsius, yung kanyang freezing or melting point. And then at 100 degrees Celsius, it is the boiling point of water. So yung pinagbasehan on this scale is yung ating water. So at degree Celsius, they are divided into 100 equal parts. And then we have here your degree Fahrenheit. So compare mo dun sa ating degree Celsius, your degree Fahrenheit is ang reference nga or at the melting or freezing is at 32 degree Fahrenheit. And then at the boiling point, that is 212 degree Fahrenheit. Yung kanyang division is 180 equal parts naman. So as you can see, dito sa ating Kelvin, the absolute scale natin is that at 273.15 degrees Celsius, negative 273.15 degrees Celsius is the zero Kelvin. This, bakit po kaya naging zero Kelvin siya? So, scientifically, wala na pong gumagalaw na atom at zero Kelvin. So, the lowest temperature na kayang i-attain ng isang atom is negative 273.15 degrees Celsius. And even sa mga laboratories natin, hindi pa siya maka-reach dito sa negative 273.15. So we cannot, uh, tawag doon, hindi natin totally ma-freeze yung atom. Meron pa ding minimal na movement. So next is yung thermometric properties. Nagkabaliktad pala sila. So a thermometric property is any physical property of a material that changes in a measurable, predictable way with temperature. Example includes the length of liquid column, which is yung ating mercury or alcohol thermometer. We have electrical resistance of a metal, and then pressure of gas at constant volume. And then we have color or emitted light from a hot object. So for a property to serve as a reliable thermometric property, it must change uniformly. So yung changes natin from this one is uniformly with the temperature. So different thermometers calibrated to the same two fixed points, it should give the same reading, which brings us back doon sa ating zeroth law. And then meron tayong principles of thermometry. We have yung ating ano yung mga principle of thermometry natin. The first one is sensitivity. So it must change noticeably over the temperature range of interest. Kailangan kapag nag-increase yung temperature kahit konti lang is mababasa ng ating thermometer. And then the other one is reproducible. So the same property must give the same reading at the same temperature every time. So halimbawa nagpapakulo tayo ng water dito sa kabila, nag-read tayo, dapat every time na magpapakulo tayo ng water, ang reading ng thermometer natin is at 100 degree Celsius. And then lastly is linear. So, or at least follow a known mathematical relationship with temperature. So, meron tayo ditong types of thermometers. The, ano yung familiar kayo dito? The liquid and glass, yung mercury natin. Then, meron tayo ditong resistance, and yung gas natin. Then we have here yung temperature o conversion equations. So to convert degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit, we are going to use this formula. And then from degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius, ito po yung formula. And then from degree Celsius, we're going to add 273.15 to convert it to Kelvin. And then from Kelvin to degree Celsius, we're going to minus 273.15. And then for your degree Fahrenheit, mostly or usually we're using na po ito, 460. And then, to convert naman yung ating Kelvin to degree Rankine, that is 1.8 times Kelvin. So let's have here an example to convert po this one. So convert the boiling temperature of gold, which is at 2,966 degrees Celsius into degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin. So from degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. So ano yung formula natin in getting the degree Fahrenheit? So this is degree Fahrenheit is equals to 9/5 times degree Celsius plus 32. So ano yung given natin dito? We have 2,966 degree Celsius. So this is 9/5 times 2,966 degrees Celsius plus 32. So ano po yung temperature natin at degree Fahrenheit? So this is 5,370.8 degree Fahrenheit. And then to convert it to Kelvin, we have degree Celsius plus 273.15. So your temperature at Kelvin is how much po? So that is 3,239.15. This is in Kelvin. So next is yung ating thermal expansion. So atoms in a solid are held in place by interatomic bonds. So these bonds act like a tiny spring. So at absolute zero, atoms sit at equilibrium position or walang paggalaw at absolute zero. So as temperature increases, ano yung nangyayari doon sa ating mga atoms? So atoms vibrate with greater energy and sweep out larger amplitude. So because of this interatomic potential energy curve, the average separation between atom increases with temperature. So at tiny level, ganun yung nangyayari sa kanya. Siyempre, yung isang object composed of millions of atoms. So what will happen if all of those atoms are exerting that kind of energy? What will happen dun sa ating mga rods, sa ating mga tubo? Ano yung mangyayari if naiinitan siya? Ano yung mangyayari dun sa ating mga object? Mag-e-expand po. So, most of the materials expand when heated and contract naman po kapag nag-cool siya. So, ano yung mga example natin ng mga nag expand? We have yung roads natin, kaya siya nagka-crack kapag summer. Ano pa? Yung mga ah, bridges natin, kaya siya may thermal expansion gap para kapag nag-summer, kapag mainit na, is maiiwasan natin magkaroon ng structural failure. So, dun ginagamit yung pagde-design or pag-aaral natin nung ating thermal expansion. So, for your thermal expansion, there are three types of thermal expansion. We have linear, aerial, and volumetric. So, kailan po ginagamit si linear thermal expansion? When yung inyo pong length is greater than doon sa ating width. Meaning, yung object natin is slender. Pwede nating i-disregard yung nangyayari dito sa ating width and ang pagbabasehan lang natin is yung kanyang length. So, ano yung formula in getting the linear thermal expansion? So, that is the change in length is equals to alpha times the original length times the change in temperature. So this one can be written as your final length minus your original length is equals to alpha times original length times the temperature final natin minus yung temperature initial natin. So ano po yung alpha? So si alpha po is the coefficient of linear expansion. So usually yung alpha natin is given. So this is ano ang kanyang unit? Naka-degree Celsius raised to negative 1 po siya. Next naman po is the area thermal expansion. So si area thermal expansion naman is when we compare it to our linear expansion. So when an object expands in two-dimensional, so as a flat plate or surface po natin, dun po natin siya magagamit. Like sheet of metal, sheet of panel, lahat po ng maninipis lang and meron siyang area. So its area changes because of your heat. So the area expansion formula is derived from applying your linear expansion in both dimensions. So we have here yung the change of area is equals to your gamma times the original area times the change in temperature. So kapag wala tayong binigay na value ni gamma, you can use the gamma is equals to 2 alpha. So that is the coefficient of area expansion. Then next is the volumetric thermal expansion. So we have beta times yung original volume natin times the change in temperature, wherein yung beta natin is equals to 3 alpha. So ito po yung table natin for the coefficient of thermal expansion. So we have here your average linear thermal expansion, coefficient of thermal expansion, this one, yung values natin. And then for volume expansion naman po. So let's answer po this one. So a poorly designed electronic device has two bolts attached to different parts of the device that almost touch each other in its interior, as in figure, as shown in the figure. So the steel and brass bolts are at different electric potential, and if they touch, a short circuit will develop, damaging the device. So the initial gap between the ends of the bolt is 5.0 mm. At 27, this is micrometer. At 27 degrees Celsius. So at what temperature will the bolts touch? Assume that the distance between the walls of the device is not affected by the temperature change. So paano po natin siya kukunin? So yung gap po natin dito, yun lang yung pwede niyang magkaroon ng change in length. So yung changing length natin dito, ano mangyayari sa steel natin dito? Kapag nagkaroon tayo ng pag-init, mag-e-expand siya. So for example, hanggang dito yung pwede niyang i-expand. And then same goes to your brass. So yung space na na-occupy nila, ito po, total nito is both of the change in length of both materials. So to get that, we can use the change in length of your steel plus the change on length of your brass, which is equals to the value of your gap, which is 5 micrometer, which is 5 times 10 raised to negative 6 meters. So now we can expand this formula. So this is the linear expansion coefficient of your steel times the initial length of steel times the change in temperature. So yung change in temperature for both material is just the same. So kahit hindi na natin siya lagyan ng subscript ng steel. Kasi same lang naman yung temperature natin sa loob na ito. So plus the thermal coefficient for brass times the original length of the brass times nung ating change in temperature. So this is equals to 5 times 10 raised to negative 6 meter. So now, we can substitute yung mga values natin dito. So from the table, ano yung value for your linear thermal expansion coefficient for brass? That is 19 times 10 raised to negative 6. And for steel, that is 11 times 10 raised to negative 6. So this one is 11 times 10 raised to negative 6. Ano ang kanyang unit? We have degree Celsius raised to negative 1 times yung original length ng steel natin, which is this one. This is 0.01 meter times the change in temperature. plus the thermal coefficient for the brass, which is 19 times 10 raised to negative 6 times nung original length ng brass natin, which is 0.03 meter. And then times the change in temperature. So this is equals to 5 times 10 raised to negative 6 meter. So ano po yung ating change in temperature? O ang ating change in temperature. So the change in temperature is 7.35. But the question po, ating problem, ano yung question sa ating problem? At what temperature will the balls touch? So ano yung kailangan natin gawin? So ano yung change in temperature natin? This is your T final minus your temperature initial. So to get yung temperature final natin, This is temperature initial plus nung ating change in temperature. So this is 27 degrees Celsius plus 7.35 degrees Celsius. So your temperature final is ano po? 34.35. So naintindihan po yung ating sample? Na-gets po ito? Wala pong question? So you can answer po this one po, this question. So ano yung hinahanap dito? What is its length on a hot day when the temperature is 40 degrees Celsius? And what is the stress result in the track due to the temperature change? So answer po this one. So, tama po yung mga sagot po ninyo. So, for letter A, the answer is 30.032 meter. And then for B, that is 8.7 times 10 raised to 7 Pascal. Parang 8.8 ang nakuha namin kanina. So, let's answer po this one. So, paano natin kukunin muna yung ating length? Since yun yung unang hinahanap natin. So, since length is equals, this is length final. So, the changing length is equals to your length final minus nung length original natin. So, yung length final natin is original length plus the change in length. Oh, wait lang. Ba't na? So, ano yung formula natin in getting the change in length? So, this is alpha times the original length times the change in temperature. So, this is 11 times 10 raised to negative 6 degrees Celsius. So, since ang sabi sa ating problem that it is in a steel railroad. Kaya po 11 times 10 raised to negative 6 times the original length of your railroad, that is 30 meters. And then the change in temperature is 40 degrees Celsius minus 0 degree Celsius. So the change in length is 0.0132 meter. So the length final is 30 plus 0.0132 meter. So this is 30.0132 meter. And then the other one is find the stress if the track cannot expand. So, paano natin siya kukunin? So, the stress is equivalent to F over A. And then yung strain natin is the changing length over the original length. And then we have another formula for your stress using the stre- the Young's modulus. So this is the Young's modulus times nung strain natin. So the stress is equals to the Young's modulus of steel times the change in length over the original length. So for steel, yung Young's modulus natin is 20 times 10 raised to 10. This is in Newton per meter square. So the stress is 20 times 10 raised to 10 times the change in length, which is 0.0132 over 30. So the stress is 8.8 times 10 raised to 7 Pascal. Dahil ang Newton per square meter is in Pascal. So, naiintindihan po? So, another one. So, answer po this one. So, dun sa letter A, tama kaya ano, that's 2.07 times 10 raised to negative 4 or 0.0207, 0.00207. Pero pagdating po dun sa letter B is mali po ano. So, alam ko na kung saan kayo nagkamali dun sa letter B. Let's answer po yung problem na to. So, estimate the fractional change in volume of Earth's ocean due to an average temperature change of 1 degree Celsius. Then for B, use the fact that the average depth of the ocean is 4 times 10 raised to 3 meter to estimate the change in depth. So for letter A, we are asked to find the change in volume over the original volume. So from the formula of volumetric expansion, this is beta times original volume times the change in temperature. Since we are asked to find yung kanyang fractional change, this will be the change in volume over yung original volume natin. Then, beta times the change in temperature. So, this is 2.07 times 10 raised to 4 times the degree Celsius raised to negative 1 times the change in temperature, which is 1 degree Celsius. So, cancel po si degree Celsius. So, the fractional is 2.07 times 10 raised to 4. Unitless po. Since fraction siya. And then, ang hinahanap naman is the increase in depth. So to find the increase in depth, we can use the linear expansion. So that is the length, the changing length is equals to alpha times the original length, or in this case, that is in depth, times nung ating change in temperature. So, saan po kayo nagkamali? You directly substitute si beta natin to alpha. So, dapat po, we use yung kanyang property, which is beta is equals to 3 alpha. So, the alpha is beta over 3. So, we can use this property to substitute to our alpha. Since ang given sa question na to is in beta. So now your formula is the change in length or depth is equals to beta over 3 times the original depth times no change in temperature. So the change in depth would be 2.07 times 10 raised to negative 4 over 3 times the original depth of the ocean, which is 4 times 10 cube meter, times the change in temperature, which is 1 degree Celsius. So, cancel si degree Celsius natin. So, ang matitira is in meter. So, your change in depth is 0.276. This is in meter. So, may question po about our discussion for today, especially the thermal expansion. So, kung wala pong question, thank you po for attending our class. Have a nice day po. Yung susunod nating topic is kaya ko siya hinata is about thermodynamics na. So, para nakasunod yung ating discussion. thermodynamics, and then after that, next week is laboratory na tayo. Okay po? So, kung walang question, you can leave na po our meeting. Thank you for attending our class.